Episode 144. Komori never did get that grape juice. Apparently they only serve alcohol here, which is pretty much the same thing as grape juice, so why can't they make grape juice? But it's fine. Komori has this lemonade. Next best thing. Time to head back into the depths of the earth. Or Aetheris, whatever. For the last two coils of Bahamut, the first round. The weird thing about this one is that it's 5 rounds instead of 4. Only there are only 4 per tier, or whatever you would call it. I don't know the actual agreed upon name the community uses. But this turn 4 and turn 5 are, or turn 5 rather, just... That one is extraneous, compared to more recent designs. And as I mentioned before, we're continuing just below where we dropped down from the previous turn, onto this elevator. This one is far more straightforward than anything else. Oh, it's over there. I guess I'm also getting elegant tombstones of poetics since this is my first time doing the duty. I should be careful not to overcap on those. They're actually useful for a lot of things. At the current moment, they're useful for farming company seals. More enemies that are below Komori's pay grade. Yeah, if I get 100 per, then I should be fine for a while. This one, it really is just kill a bunch of enemies on an elevator, which always is fun in video games, but it'll be no trouble in this case. Oh, a dreadnought. I love those things. This is like the same design from Final Fantasy, isn't it? Or, of course, obviously. I meant to say Final Fantasy VII. And I guess a lot of Final Fantasies where this guy appears in, he's actually doing a shit ton of damage. Because we didn't kill those other guys. Oops. A kind of pseudo-white mechanic. We also get a little bit of healing from the Echo, which is pretty helpful, since our own healing spells are useless, pretty much. What is this? Pox. Reduces maximum HP. Oh, that's annoying. Alright, before he absorbs any enemies or whatever, let's kill them. Whatever he did to buff himself last time, it seemed to involve absorbing enemies. I'm about to die. Put that barrier up, please, and don't die. It's not worth much, but let's do some healing. I thought this one would be easy. Spell. Okay, maybe it was easier than I thought, but not as easy as I would have liked. Once again, I didn't have to exactly learn the mechanics, just that Dreadnought is actually scarier than I gave him credit for, which he should be. They were pretty scary in Final Fantasy VII, and also in Final Fantasy XIII I think they were in. Where is the exit? So I'm not sure if you could see the next duty from there, but we're just heading into the last one, which would have been the only one we had to clear to actually unlock the next tier. I keep on saying tier or turn, but tier should refer to each of these that released with the same patch, these 5 turns, and turn just refers to the individual, I guess. I think. And we are now at... How deep are we? $1,910 yalms. A central core of the Ragnarok, apparently. Before we head deeper, let us take a moment to take in the sights. This place used to be part of Dalamud, apparently. There's some kind of central core over there, the eponymous central core. And over here, some enormous claws rather, several of them. It is in fact one giant hand. The right hand of Bahamut. It's kinda gross looking, huh? The texture. This is going rather more smoothly than I expected. Really? I had a few wipes there, and actually some few near wipes as well. It is indeed convenient to have a hero on hand. Gods, that the cavern should open up again, even at this depths. This resembles a finger. I guess Alize was going to call it out for us. And so it should. This is Bahamut's right hand. As with the wings, it seems to be frozen, and for that I count my blessings. But again I found myself wondering, how is it able to retain physical form? I'd assumed that Bahamut's reversion to ether was the cause of the widespread changes to the realm. But if he is still here, then that theory no longer holds. What was it then that brought about the realm's sudden regeneration? There is still so much we do not know about Cartano. I haven't the slightest inkling how deep these caverns run, but we must continue. Well, they don't go much deeper. This is the last turn. What's this ring? Could it be a battle arena of some kind? Twintania. I want to say Twintania is somewhat notorious as like something that people had trouble with back in the day. I don't know the full history though. Do we have to worry about those other two? I think it's just Twintania, it seems. And actually, I probably should have looked up this fight before going in after the last episode, with all the trouble I had with the wipe mechanics last time. This might similarly prove to be a problem. We'll give it one go, and if I have to cut in the middle of the episode, I guess we'll see. No, it's actually a lot more than just Twintania. Death sentence, that's going to be a big one. I think my barrier took some of that, or it wasn't as big as I feared. Big dragon. Should I be worried? I forget how this mechanic works after all. I should be worried. I have infirmity now, and I think I'm going to die. I can't move. I can't attack, I can't do anything. I'm immobile. I can't even free myself. There's no timer on this, I'm just going to die. This is a mechanic, isn't it? Yeah. Am I just going to have to wait here? For some reason it's not doing any damage to me. There has to be some kind of wait mechanic going on here, right? I see. The healing from the echo is outpacing the damage from the fire, so I'm just kind of stuck here. I think. Unless there's some kind of hidden timer before Twintania enrages or something. There we go. And I'm gonna die. There we go. All dead. Okay. Komori Moriko is not as built different as she would have liked to believe. Could we cut the music for a second? Record scratches. Our delve deep into the heart of the earth is suddenly cut short by a brick wall. I didn't actually realize it would be such a heavy brick wall as that, where we can't actually move or do anything. Thought there'd be more, I don't know, leeway or something. But again, this wasn't designed for solo. It should be able to be soloed though, I just don't know what level you have to be for it to work out. What I'm going to do, actually, is again, like with the Dark Divinity Odin, cut in the middle of the episode here, just to figure out if I can, I don't know, finagle my way around, do some experimentation, or look some things up to see how exactly this fight works, if we can get around anything. It is with great displeasure that Komori admits she is not built different, not as much as she'd hoped. Returning from the depths of the earth with her tail tucked between her legs, she admits she can't defeat Twintania. Yet. But if she got this strong by absorbing the power of primals, that's how summoners work, I imagine, and surely fighting stronger versions of those same primals will make her even stronger to fight Twintania. That is my excuse for returning back to Vesper Bay and taking on some of these other stuff that I kind of wanted to do. We'll be taking on some of the quests that Oriander has for the Extreme Trials. There is somewhat, surprisingly, a little bit of story content in these, if I recall correctly. And I think they're the only ones, because it becomes standard practice later on that the extreme versions are something that unlock but don't really have story content, like interactions with NPCs. There is lore in the extreme versions of things even in the current expansion, but the only real stuff that we're going to get are the cutscenes that happen outside of the extremes. Although I guess This is also a bit different in that that's right. The extremes that you get in the later versions, the later expansions, are kind of like dream battles. They're told to you by the Wandering Minstrel, and they are basically just versions of the same fight that you would have gone through previously. Alternate versions of them, all happening in your brain. But these ones were actually given by Urianger because, I recall now, they are actually summoning their primals again, in lore. The kobolds, the Ixal, the Amalja. It's all just happening all over again. I think it was this one? Yeah. We're going to take Urianger's quest, and maybe get a few more levels. Hopefully that will let us take on Twintania. I actually only need 3 more levels, or more like 2.25 based on my experience bar, to get a huge boost. The levels themselves not necessarily, but a couple of things. One, when we reach level 71, we'll be on a perfectly, well, a different tier. The highest tier there is, I think, of Epic Echo. Our current tier brings us to plus 200% HP and everything, while the next tier, 71 and above, will bring us to plus 300%. That will be multiplicative with the 30% buff from the Echo in Bahamut, which will bring us to about 4.2 times our base stats. That is in addition to the higher item level stuff we can equip once we pass the level 70 threshold, or actually once we reach the level 70 threshold. So that's why I'm doing these before I fight Twintania again. Hopefully, if I'm level 71, it'll work out. But these won't give me that much experience, they won't actually give me any experience based on this. I'm just doing it now to fill in the time while I work on the experience off screen. Give us something easier, Urianger. Bahamut had hands. He had one hand, and it was too tough on his hand. It is decided. The stance of the Scions must evolve from shifting sand to unyielding stone. My place, however, is here in this land of unending tragedy. There I must remain, until the true nature of the primals is revealed unto me. This quest would have happened, or been unlocked, during the patch quest where they decided to move from this place to the Rising Stones. I guess Urianger is still living in the past. Many seasons did I toil to fashion a net across this vast realm, a net that catches not fish, but nuggets of wisdom more valuable than gold. Yet even possessed of this hoard of knowledge, I cannot purchase, all the keys to the confounding doors that bar my passage. Thus must I presume, to unsheathe the blade born of light. Thine is a strength that shattereth the stoutest barriers, and doth pierce that which obfuscates the impotent gaze of ordinary men. We have not the luxury of time required for my measured scholarly pace. For the adder's nest is astir, hissing with the news of Garuda's return. Her winds have grown ever more violent, ever more destructive. What lieth behind this sudden waxing of power? The answer may well prove a vital piece of the puzzle of the primal's existence. Mine eyes perceive a looming wall of strife, poised to crash down upon our cities with unrestrained fury. For the nonce, you must pacify the Lady of the Vortex. Swiftly now to the Adder's Nest. High Serpent Commander Helu will have such details as thou needest to proceed. I shall await thee at the waking sands, and pray for thy success. Right, so not a dream battle. I almost forgot. Over to Helu. Now hopefully this will be easier than Twintania. Twintania would have come out, well, in the base game, 2.0, so that would have been before this quest was available. In a technical sense, I think this means that Garuda should be higher difficulty than Twintania, maybe. We'll see. This could just be another embarrassing brick wall that I hit immediately. But if we're gonna hit it, we're gonna hit it. Ah, Komoi of the Scions. Might I deduce from your stern expression that you have heard of the disturbing news? Aye, Garuda returns once more to plague our nightmares. I fear this incarnation of the lady is more tempestuous than aught we have yet witnessed. If you are prepared to face this roiling storm, then I will brief you on what must be done. Some useless stuff. Oh, we get seals for this, I didn't realize. We first learned of Garuda's return when the Primal fell upon the Blue Panthers, as they sought to construct a new watchspire. The devastation was absolute. According to the report of the one surviving engineer, Garuda invoked the most horrifying gale, with but a gesture of her taloned hand. The powerful winds tore apart the half-built tower, crushing the workers and scattering their broken bodies like dolls. By all accounts, it appears the Lady of the Vortex has grown stronger with this summoning. She must be stopped, before the casualties are allowed to pile any higher. But as you might imagine, the Ixal, eager to please their bloodthirsty goddess, are engaging our troops on every front. I have not the soldiers to spare for a primal hunting expedition. Thus I sent word to the Scions to beg the aid of proven champions. You and your companions are the best hope for freeing Gerdania of this rampaging fiend. I ask that you confront Garuda in her customary domain, the Howling Eye. Such a titanic conflict is best confined to Exolivans, wouldn't you agree? Though I imagine the Birdmen have since made adjustments to their crystal, the Beastman Aetheryte found within Notlan remains the surest means of entry. May the 12 strengthen your arm, Komoi. So just like the quote-unquote hard versions of this, we're just going over into their Aetheryte to access the harder version. It feels like a lot of hoops to jump through for basically what is the same thing as the unlock quest for the hard mode. But I guess they have to do something, or rather they thought they had to do something, until they realized they could just make all of these dream battles. Garuda, I didn't realize would be the first one. Actually, the mechanics for the Garuda Extreme fight are pretty difficult, I think, because she has ads and, well, other things. Actually, based on Twintania, this probably won't go very well. I probably should have thought up of something else to do before coming here. And here's that story content I was talking about. It's a little bit. It's not really necessary to progress the plot, but it is story content. Well, I guess that comes after you beat the boss. Nonetheless, it's pretty obvious, Asians. So what is the item level here? 65 compared to turn 5, which was 82. So that is actually lower. Based on item level, this might be easier. Hopefully, anyway. I don't always want the bosses to be a pushover, but if I can't win, like there's no way past the brick wall, I prefer they be a pushover. I don't remember. Is the intro for the Extreme any different? A lot of that looks similar to what I've seen before. Now this will be working with the other rolls. We have the epic echo to start with, 200%. And we'll get the echo for every 3 minutes we survive and then die, up to a maximum of 50%. So that will help us survive if we need it. Get this out of the way. Get carbuncle, and here we go. We should be able to skip some mechanics with how much DPS we do. We'll summon our own Garuda and see if we can shame her a little bit. Just doing some AoEs. Hopefully this will take out the ads here. Doesn't look like it's actually helping out too much. Uh-oh. That doesn't look good. And now I'm asleep. This is the part I was afraid of, these extra ads. I shouldn't be healing myself, there's no way I'm gonna. Well, I guess if I can somehow heal myself and get the extra echo from the 3 minutes of surviving, that'd be great. This is the thing that puts you to sleep, I remember. Very annoying, this thing. And we're dead. It wasn't even 3 minutes, was it? No. Let's see. You could just slow DPS, so we don't get into that weird phase. Let's start with that. Before we start experimenting with what we can do, just survive for a little bit. Timer started around 58, so we have to survive until 50. That's some lemonade. It's actually a huge problem if she destroys these things, if you don't skip her mechanics, which it doesn't look like we will be able to. Satin Plume is the main thing to get rid of. We have to survive for about 100 more seconds. We'll add on a few more just to make sure it's the full 3 minutes. Another Satin Plume, I think. Yeah. You can't hide from me. I know your game. Just a minute more. I should probably farm the echo off screen, but this will maybe be an honest attempt after I pass the 3 minute mark. Okay, I didn't think she'd summon those. Let's try to DPS one down. Just one. I forget which one buffs her attack. I think it might be Suporna, because it's a red one. Wait, that's Tirada. She stopped taking damage. Or she's taking very few damage. How'd that happen? Well, we should get the Echo now. They have to be separated, don't they? So that they don't buff each other's defense. Well, I managed to kill one. And I should get the Echo now. Yeah, I got it. Wait, only 5%. Okay, so it's different per raid, or per trial. I want to try one more attempt, honestly. Ah, I need this. Carbuncle. Gotta get rid of the Satin Plume. We'll save our big stuff for when the ads come out, which should be pretty soon. Okay, you can kill her if you're just fast enough. For whatever reason, I guess I let her live long enough that she got some defense or something. This might be easier than I gave it credit for. More of this. Still invulnerable. And now. The Spiny Plume. That's another big thing. At least it's gone now. Do some AoEs, get rid of these. This might be in the bag if Tirada and Suporna don't come out again. Maybe I should have hung on to my Eggies until I saw them come back, but I guess it won't be hard to get back to this again if I do wipe. But it looks like she's actually... yeah. I had no reason to worry. I had no reason to metagame with the Echo. Just needed to actually understand how those guys worked. Well, not understand, more like respect them at least. Respect that they existed and see them as threats. If only Twintania were so easy. Unfortunately, you don't get any experience for completing trials like that. Dungeons, yes, trials, no. Not even the quests give you anything. But they do give you some lore. Our efforts to augment Garuda's powers were met with the predicted success. It is mildly unsatisfying, then, that the Primal was thus summarily defeated. Against the Bringer of Light, it appears that the heavier hand is required, and now that the focus has been discovered, it is of no consequence. Even should they understand the significance of its presence, they have no means to prevent the summonings. and the beastmen continue to crave ever more powerful avatars every time their gods fall. With each link forged in this chain of ambition, the shackles of chaos are bound ever tighter. It is not for us to entertain such speculation. We are bid only to convey what we have witnessed. Let us be gone from here. So yeah, just some cryptic Asian nonsense. It's lore, sure. Is it vital to the main plot? No. That's why it's not required. Of course, there's going to be a little bit more as we do the other two extremes. Once more, Garuda has fallen to your might. You have our gratitude, Komoi. We are blessed to count such heroes among our allies. What's this? Some memento of the battle, mayhap? A gruesome ritual tool. From the bones of an Ixal. What an uncanny arrangement of bone. I have never seen its like. I could not guess for what foul ritual this object would be used. Might there be some connection to the primal, considering the place in which it was found? I must ask that you take this grisly trophy to the Waking Sands and consult with Urianger. Perhaps he can provide some insight. And perhaps it will provide us some insight on how to make our Eggy stronger. It's fun to pretend that this will help me defeat Twintania, but I really do have to think about how I'm going to make up all of this. Millions and millions of experience I'll need for just 3 more levels. Palace of the Dead is pretty much a no-go. The experience is pretty much only good up until level 60. I could do Duty Roulette, but I've kind of avoided that up until now. I could swallow my pride and start doing it though. This isn't really the kind of character that I want to do Duty Roulette on. I've been careful to only get experience, or try to only get experience through things I feel like getting on camera, more or less. Like Glow. Thou art returned whole from thy grueling trial, as the battle with the lady gifted thee a glimpse into the primal's fortress of inscrutability. Look at this bone. A ritual, focus of XIV bone. Home to what tainted powers I cannot say. Pray leave this curiosity with me, that I might dwell further on its nature. Garuda's unseemly strength was not fueled by crystal caches, and tempered worship alone. Nay, I fear some new rite of summoning was employed. Alright, good. 2 of those 3 things are things we did already to shore up our strengths as a summoner. That thing about the crystal caches is pretty much the same thing as absorbing the ether that we did in the summoner questline, right? And then that thing about tempered worship is like all of that stuff we did in the intersocietal quest to learn more about their culture, or so I like to pretend. And maybe this 3rd thing is what'll give us the edge we need to kill Twintania, or so I like to pretend. The rigid culture of the Ixal rarely spawneth such an anomaly. Methinks agents more deeply versed in primal lore have meddled here. The Asians, for a certainty. And if those servants of darkness are afoot, they will not stop at a single tribe. Such revelations do much to explain my recent communications. Art thou prepared to struggle once more against a beastman god? Sure. I actually forget when these quests might have all unlocked. Like whether if they were all in one patch or if they were distributed amongst the several patches that came out. They're all easier than Twintania, I think, so it's hard to say. The Maelstrom has sent word of a mountain-shaking tremor felt by every man and beast in the northern half of Ilvind. The kobolds have awoken the Lord of Crags, and this shuddering arrival doth echo with the heightened strength shown by his sister Primal. Seek out the High Storm Commander Rashatriki, At Maelstrom Command Limsa Luminsa. Thy path leads once more to the stony feet of Titan. Okay. Old Riki. Now I said Garuda was kind of the one that worried me with the ads, but there is another point with Titan that worries me, because he puts you in a stone cage that you can't escape from without help from others. That might be more of a literal stone wall that actually blocks me from making any progress than anything else. I might be able to DPS him fast enough that it's not a problem, but I fear not. Ah, Captain Moriko, glad I am to see you answer our desperate summons. As you have no doubt, the kobolds have, it seems, yet again called forth the primal Titan within their mountain abode. The recent quaking of the land can be attributed to no other, and considering the intensity of the tremor, we can be sure that Uriandra's warnings concerning the enhanced power of the primals are far from idle. We Maelstrom officers would, of course, like naught better than to shatter the belligerent old boulder ourselves, but we cannot risk losing our soldiers to tempering. Once again, we must turn to the seasoned veterans of the Scions. According to our readings, the rumblings are strongest in the navel, Titan's usual haunt within Ugamora mines. You should be able to enter the Primal's domain by reattuning to the Beastman Aetherite found within the Kobolds' territory in Outer Lenosia. After the previous defeat of their great father, you can wager they've recalibrated their crystal. May you crash against this stubborn rock with the fury of 1,000 waves. And back we go. Same story. I'm wondering if I'm going to have any other reason to return to the Ugamora mines after this. Did all of the Beast Tribe quests, the Kobold quests? This would be the last time anything related to a Realm Reborn brings you here, for primals and whatnot. There might be some story stuff, actually now that I think about it, later, after a Realm Reborn. Eorzea doesn't disappear off the map once you're done with a Realm Reborn. So there are still dealings with the peoples of Eorzea, including the Beast Tribes. Naval Extreme. Pretty sure that's just the same intro. I guess I could skip these. Well, at least this one was shorter than Garuda. Alright, no screwing around with the echo. Let's just see if we can win honestly. Don't get pushed off, that's the main thing. I guess the wall still exists in this version. At least until he starts breaking the arena. And here comes this. My barrier should have absorbed most of it. Searing Light. Begin DPS. He actually might disappear a couple more times, so maybe I should have saved Searing Light. Damn, here's the problem. Now does this kill you if you don't, like, get out of it in time? I'm just hoping it's not an instant kill, just like big damage. It's going to be an instant kill, huh? Nope, it's not. Thank God. It did a hefty amount of damage for sure, but we can recover that. As long as he doesn't do it again. Arena is way smaller. Like, a lot. Just don't do it again, please. Don't put us in jail. Damn it. We're not gonna live. I guess I could have healed a little bit more. We're not even gonna get the full 3 minutes. Unless I can maybe get just a bit more health through natural healing. Okay. Let's focus on healing just a little bit. Weave in some off-global cooldowns on the heart and maybe kill it. Get him off our back. There we go. Maybe start doing some DPS. Does he still do the cage at this stage? More ads. Maybe focus on those. Wrong one. This is bad. Okay. Did we get the echo? Please tell me we got the echo. I think that was 3 minutes, maybe? Okay, we got it. Yeah, I see it in the lower right. This will help us survive a little bit. Maybe with a little bit better play I could make that easier. I'm not sure how to do better though. I guess if this only stacks 5 times, you only get 25% echo. Maybe. Might be enough. Maybe if I save my barriers for when he does the cage. Okay. Wait, my barrier isn't. Damn it. I couldn't do my barrier because I had the Eggy out. I'm losing out on DPS here too. At least I can recover with the barrier. Prevent some damage. Alright, healing time. Maybe one of the potions. I waited too long, didn't I? Nope, I got out. Thank goodness. Alright. We're better health-wise this time. Just chill a little bit, Gilmore. Just waiting for those ads to come out. can do this, get some of this AoEs, and oh right, vulnerability. That's what's killing me. Keeps on stacking that, huh? That's supposed to be a tank swap mechanic. This is going to be a brick wall, huh? Well, I got the barrier out. Maybe while we're waiting here, the physical vulnerability will run out. If not, this is going to kill me for sure. Okay. But we're dead anyway. Nope, wrong button. He's gonna smack us with a big thing any second now. There it is. Well, just like this, we're going to have to get a little bit more echo every time. How much is it now? 10? Yeah. I should probably pause here, right? Yeah. Let's do that. Like with the Dark Divinity, I'm going to go ahead and farm some of the echo up until I get 25%. Up until then, I think it should be, or when we reach there, I think it should become possible. And back in. After some test runs and farming the echo, I think this should go okay. It's kind of finicky because it depends on the timing of when he puts me inside his trap and when I get my barriers. With enough DPS I can skip some of that and hopefully get through that last phase pretty quickly. It's the last phase that's the most dangerous. I need Carbuncle. And actually I need my health buff too. Well, this is already taking a pretty bad turn. What I want to avoid is getting physical vulnerability debuffs from his big wave attack. If I leave him out too long, he starts doing that, and then the damage becomes exponentially hard to deal with. If we're fast enough, we can skip certain phases, like where he puts me in the rock. Like in this phase right here. But he's going to do it. Damn. And I just summoned my Eggy, so I couldn't pull out my barrier either. Well, this isn't the end of the world. Luckily the Echo increases my stats, so I also get some extra defense for that, in addition to the actual health. Alright, and there's the physical vulnerability debuff. That attack is annoying. Now here it's pretty crucial that we get him down quickly. And actually I should have used that ability that starts the timer much earlier, so I get my Eggies out. I was a little slow on that, but luckily we avoided anything bad. Right, I should be healing, obviously. Now here's the important part. I'm going to try to DPS him down as quickly as possible. The ads are going to come out too, but hopefully the AoE on some of these attacks will also hit them as well. Yeah. Maybe I'll spare a little bit. Damn. That annoying attack. Let's get this barrier up. I'm playing rather poorly. But I think we should be able to survive. I have my eggies up, and we should be able to burst them down with our last bit of DPS. As long as the barrier actually... No, the barrier isn't going to last. I put it up too early. This is bad. It might be over. For me. Just one more of those upheavals and I'm done. As long as he stays in a big attack like that, maybe I'll survive. Okay, thank God. I played terribly at every turn, but we made it thanks to the Echo. That's the Echo. You don't have to be good if you have the Echo. Titan displayed a most satisfying degree of destructive power. The intensifying effects of the ritual foci are undeniable. Powerful though his this incarnation was, the Primal's eventual defeat was not unexpected. The burgeoning strength shown by the Bringer of Light, however, has grown beyond reckoning. Good, that's why we came here. For strengths beyond reckoning. Such a demonstration of force serves us still. It invites greater, yet ever greater retaliation. Yes, as the light burns brighter, so too are the shadows steeped, deeper in darkness. And again, more cryptic nonsense. Unfortunately, these took a lot longer than I really expected, so... I was hoping to get all 3 of the main primals from A Realm Reborn done in one episode. I might have done it if I actually dedicated one episode to this, but I was stupid and tried to do the other coils before I was ready for them. I guess I was lulled into a false sense of security by clearing turns 1 through 4, even though I couldn't, in my wildest dreams, clear turn 5. The rumblings have ceased. It seems no matter how powerful the Lord of the Crags becomes, you and your companions are up to the task. Yes, you found something of interest in the navel. A gruesome ritual tool fashioned from the bones of a kobold. Is this bone? In such a grotesque design. Honestly, I will never understand the kobold's sense of aesthetics. You say you acquired a similar object after your battle with Garuda? Then we must consider the possibility that these trinkets are responsible for the primal's appalling new strengths. But I shall leave such conclusions to those more learned in the subject than I. Pray return to the waking sands, and convey my greetings to Orianter. Right, this. Still have 50 of those, thank goodness. I'm going long just to wrap up on this one quest line, but I really have to stop doing this to myself. Getting into things that make me go long on episodes. I guess that's just how Final Fantasy XIV works, though. A lot of the duties that you take on if it's not the main quest are time commitments that you can't decide when they end nicely. So the Lord of Crags was also possessed with unprecedented vigor, and thou hast returned with yet another curiosity of bone. The kobolds are not known for fashioning objects in this manner. What is more, its construction does bear a striking similarity to that of the trophy recovered from Garuda's lair. The fleshless remains of beastmen worshippers. This is a material common to both of these foreboding ritual tools. What unsavory sorcery have the paragons bequeathed to their unsuspecting pawns? There is yet another commonality to this augmentation of the primals that concerns me, and that is thee, Komoi. For every mountain thou dost conquer, I am struck by the answering waxing impotency of the primals. The pattern is too clear to ignore. Such a cycle bodes naught but ill for the realm. I must unlock the true nature of these immortal entities, ere the land is once more racked with ruin. And as always, thou art my stoutest ally in the gathering of the requisite keys. We'll handle Ifrit another day. Komori is sick and tired of getting her ass kicked by these primals, and whatever Twintania is, I guess just a dragon. While she licks her wounds, now would be a good time to take a break.